in 2005 when you were playing the match and you felt a crunch in your foot and it turned out you had broken something and it turned out that you had this very rare, is it called Muller Weiss?
Yeah.
You said, I'm devastated, I'm destroyed. This is in a car scene. You then had to wear an insole that I don't know whether people knew about that, but to try to do everything you could to make it work. Tell me about that. What was it like having to play with that pain? Did you think you'd be able to have a long career after that? That was 2005.
Probably that was the toughest part in my tennis career, because that was just the beginning. 2005 was the first year that I won my first Grand Slam. I finished my year like a world number 2. So that was in one of the last tournaments of the year. So after that, was just the beginning of my success. So in some way, when you receive all this news that maybe you will not be able to keep doing the same things as you are used to do it, wow. In some way, you are projecting your future, being a professional tennis player, thinking that you're going to have at least, 7, 8, 10 years of being on the professional tour. That's why you have been practicing almost all your life. And in 1 second, looks like, okay, now maybe you will not be able to keep doing what you are doing. So,
is it scary?
Yes. Because at 19 years old, of course, you feel everything in a different way. You are very young. It's difficult to assimilate all these issues. But I was very lucky to have very good people next to me, and of course, I always hold the hope that things gonna move forward and I will be able to keep playing. But the news for a couple of months haven't been positive. And at the end, it's true that we found a very drastic solution, but worked. And
which was?
Was a very aggressive insole. After 4 months looking for solutions, trying different things, was an insole that moved my foot 7 millimeters like this. So literally my foot was out of my shoe. And that's why I was lucky enough that moment that I talked to Nike. I went to Portland straight away. I said, okay, like this, looks like I'm going to have the chance to keep playing tennis. So I need to fix that. And I was lucky enough that they make it very quick. And completely new shoe, special for my foot, higher, they basically construct a shoe just for my foot.
You do express throughout the documentary anxiety and stress about all of this, which is presumably understandable. Your wife talks about it. You went to see a psychiatrist at some point or a therapist to try to get through it. This is going to resonate with people all over the world, particularly men, young men. Tell me about the level of anxiety and stress, having to go out, for instance, at one point with a bottle of water the whole time, and how you work through that.
Yes, probably because I went through a lot of injuries, a lot of pressure, and arrived a moment that in some way you are not able to handle all of this. And even if in my mind I was able to handle all of this, arrived a point that your mind fails, and that's what happened. So when, I always thought that I need to fix things for myself in terms of mental strength, no? But arrived a moment that when I was, my feeling was, I cannot go out on the street without a bottle of water on my hand. So that's a big deal. So I need to find help, and that's what I did. I went to a psychologist first. I said, I tried, but I think that's not working because all the things that I am listening here, I knew already because I was very rational, let's say. But then I went to the psychiatrist.
Yes,
psychiatrist. And then after that, I started with some medication for a while, and I was able to start feeling improvements, no, after a couple of months. And then, of course, that was for around a year. And then, of course, I recovered and I never again.
And then towards the end, I mean, when you were in 2022, I mean, you won your 14th Roland-Garros. I was there. I interviewed you afterwards.
Oh, yeah,
I saw you limping into the interview room because you had to have injections in your foot. And John McEnroe in the series says, oh, my God, he can do it without feeling his feet. What's he going to do next? Blindfold himself and win? It was extraordinary. It was an incredible handicap. How did your talent, your practice, your muscle memory allow you to be able to stay upright and in direction even when you couldn't feel your feet?
Because in some way I think I was prepared for all these things. Because I went through a lot during all my tennis career. I played all my career with basically the navicular bone of my left foot break. I played with a lot of issues on my knees, so I had plenty of things. So I was used to this suffering. I was used to find always a way to keep being competitive and to find a solution.